Alright, good morning. This is Briak at Games. There we go. So, quick intro. I feel like I cut my face with my nail middle nail right here. I feel like I cut myself. Anyway, this has nothing to do with anything. I'm Briak at Games. We're getting into the Banner Saga today. This is going to be a blind playthrough. I don't know much about this. The only thing I know is that it's story driven and that it was kind of like Final Fantasy Tactics. I don't know how true that is. So we're going to pay attention to this. I actually want to see the story.
It has been several long months on the road. The first signs of snowfall accost us on our approach to Strand, largest of the trade cities on the Val human borders, and our last collection before returning to the capital. Several days ago, the sun simply came to a stop in the sky. Though during these long winter days, none of us can be certain how long it has been this way. Some of the men in the caravan have taken it as a dire omen. I am not quick to superstition, but I myself will be glad to be done with this year's rounds. We have been warned by stranded travelers about brigands on the path through Ridgehorn, our road home. Our captain seems unconcerned. Perhaps he is as eager as I to be done here. We will rest here this day and inquire further when we speak to the governor.
Do I play the Horn Dudes, I guess, at this point? Yeah, alright. Let's see. You've arrived just in time. The chieftain in red and his men are looking for a tougher fight than they bargained for. Use R to pan, zoom, and A to continue. Alright. These portraits show the order of initiative, taking turns from left to right. Your allies are blue, the enemy is red. It's your turn to act. Movement happens before action. This ring shows the shield banger is active. The blue tiles around him show where he can move. Okay. Some characters fill more tiles than others. The horned allies are a race of giants called Varl, who take up 4 tiles each. While humans fill a single tile, this can have a huge impact on your strategy. Enemy tiles are red and pulse if the enemy is in range. To target nearby enemy, use left stick to select the attack. There we go. You can choose either to attack the enemy's strength or break his armor. The numbers beneath each icon, 2, 5, show the damage you will do to that stat. Strength counts as both health and damage. Loss of 2 strength means you'll now do 2 less damage. If strength falls to 0, the character falls in battle. Okay. He's down. Each time you make a kill, your renown grows, which is used later to improve your characters. Okay. After taking an action, your turn ends. Next up is the enemy. Turns always alternate, even if you're outnumbered. Oh, that's too bad. Despite being at full strength, the chieftain will do little damage against the shieldbanger's high armor. Now it's your Warhawk's turn. He appears to be out of range of those enemies, but all characters can use willpower to boost their actions. Willpower is a limited resource, so use it wisely. By moving on gold tiles, a unit can move further than usual at the cost of 1 willpower per gold tile. Red pulsating tiles beneath your enemy show how close he'll have to be in range. Move your Warhawk in range using L and A. Okay. Standard attacks only affect a single enemy, but your Warhawk has a special ability that gives him a unique advantage. Your unit menu combat options include move, ability, attack, and in turn. Press L and A to activate the ability now. Tempest. The ability appears in the tooltip. The Warhawk's Tempest allows him to slam multiple enemies at once. Use right and left to select an enemy and then hit confirm. Okay. That made quick work of the chieftain's bodyguards. When there is only one enemy left, players enter pillage mode. During pillage, each character moves in order, and there are no more guaranteed turns. Check the initiative to see how the order has changed. Your allies now get to move twice in a row. If the character does not move on his turn, he can rest to regain 1 willpower. The chieftain will rest this turn. Victory! The foe's lying dead at your feet. Oh, I didn't get to read it because it just continued. Alright.
Like a rabid wolf, that one. How did it come to this? We fool ourselves believing that peace will last. My grandfather built all this from a poor fishing village, you know. He watched the gods die, watched the chaos that followed, watched man and var slaughter each other. Even before the dreads arose. All we've done is traded one struggle for another. Now that there are no more dreads to war against, we war against ourselves. This chieftain meant to kill me, and he's not the first. 12 families in the city would gladly take my chair. This one had men waylaying merchants, both north and south of the city, strangling trade. Quite well, I would add, though he denied it to his last. This sort of wolf doesn't stop biting because the head is cut off. It just grows a new head. I'm in a bad way, my friend. Help me finish this fight and I'll gladly send you on your way with double our king's tithe. Take any men you need. They're loyal. I promise you that. They will meet you down in the proving grounds.
Chapter 1. Only the sun has stopped. You're approached by a familiar man who walks in step with you as you're leaving the Great Hall. He cuts to the chase. Eirik, Steward of Strand. I manage the governor's business. Ubin, isn't it? It is. The governor tells me you'll be giving us a hand. What did you have in mind? Scalflings that you didn't hack up in the Great Hall scattered after you took out their chieftain. Governor just wants to make sure they stay down. Was hoping you'd join me at the marketplace by the docks. If there's anyone left to worry about, I know who can tell us. Use L or LB. Oh, there's the L. Okay. To highlight the market tent. Then press A to visit the merchant. Let me handle this. You meander through rows of open-faced houses and eroded stalls. Colored canvases flap on a briny current. One man in particular blanches as you approach. Had, I'm not in the mood today. For what? Talking to an idiot. The Scafling's chieftain bled out about an hour ago, Had. So when you tell me what rat heinous the rest of them crawled back into, nobody's going to try to kill you this time. They don't talk to me. Had, I had a change of heart. I hope you do give us a hard time. Had sweats visibly fumbling with some dirty trinkets on his table. Wait, just buy one of these. If everybody thinks I'm getting worked over every week, how am I supposed to know much? Just a little food money, yeah? You toss a sliver of silver on the table. Both men look at you with surprise. Had gestures meekly to a variety of junk from his stall. Take whatever you like. Only thing I like is the name of a place. Nobleman up by East Wall, but that was months ago, last I know. Had skulks away with a wave of Irik's hand, gathering things from his hovel, disappearing for a while until this blows over, you figure. Your bodyguard steps forward. Are we done here? Knulf, were you wearing green back at the Great Hall? No, just bought them while you were walking around. Why? You look like a frog. Better than an eggplant. Knulf goes off to look at more stalls. Irik, that man of yours seems unreliable at best. A blind dog wouldn't trust Had, but he used to be Scafling. If they're licking their wounds, they've probably gone to old haunts, not new ones. Nobleman is a meat hole? Best I can tell, the name's ironic. Listen, I know you a guy who would love to put a few of these skulls in the ground. I'm going to find him and meet you there. What a luxury. Come on, you already mopped up worse today. Just make sure the governor remembers his promise. Double the usual tithe. I'll remind him. Okay. There's the mead house that we can go to. Is there a way to level my characters? No menu? Alright, whatever. Let's just go to the mead house. You arrive in front of what must be a nobleman. A few minutes later, Irik appears with a weather-beaten man introduced as Valgard. I'll point them out, Eric says over his shoulder. Ready? Let's get it over with. You're walking through the front door? Let's go that one. I ran to a mead house, says Valgard. I'll be surprised if they can stand up straight right now. Okay, here we go. Valgard boots the front door open so hard it won't close again without repair. As you enter the hall, Irik is already at the head of the table, his axe drawn. Wide-eyed, drunken Scaflings scramble to find their own weapons, turning tables and mead steins in the process. Loading. So this must be a fight. Yeah, here we go. He's halfway to dead. Oh, he took an extra turn, that bitch. He's dead. Jeez, why am I weakened? It's kind of annoying. They really want that guy dead, man. I wonder if my guy dying is a problem. Like, do I lose him? Foes lying dead. Ah, I don't get to see it. Tempered by blood. Oh, okay. 2 people ready for promotion. There they are. Gods be damned. I've got to go wash off this blood. Eirik is looking out the hall's windows onto the bay. A fleet of longships approach with sail of bold reds and blue. One banner I know well, Wagner. Next for Carl Kingship. Last we spoke. The other flag looks important. Yeah, important guess. See what I deal with all day long? Things make a little more sense. You hoped I'd have a stake in saying everything's fine here when the royal guests arrive. Not me, the governor. Now I have to make sure there are no rotting bodies or pools of entrails still in the Great Hall before they come by. Can I ask one more favor? What is it? If you happen to stall our guests down on the docks, I wouldn't object. Maybe I will. Eirik and Valgard hustle from the mead house. To his credit, Eric tosses the barkeep a spar of silver for the mess. You give an apologetic shrug and go to greet the new arrivals down at the docks. The docks. Let's go. Wagner? The familiar Varl steps onto the docks. In your mind, you recall a much younger version trampling the halls of Grofheim, abundant in purpose. Gods, Ubin, you're looking ancient. Comes with being old, and if there is Wagner, there must be Haken. Must there? Still bleeding tributes from poor and stupid old yaks? At what age do you lose a sense of shame? Drundur demands it. I'll take that over lingering to death in Grofheim. Speaking of, I had no sense that you were so far from home. Just returned from Aberrang, in fact. And glad for it. That's Haken. Haken motions to the other ships in the bay. Sails still fluttering. Golden wolf head emblazoned on red. The king of men or someone on his behalf. King's whelp? King's son Ludin. Don't you know Scrivener? We visit his capital. He visits ours. It's how you make alliances these days. It's a miserable waste of time, Haken says. Yes, Haken has it. I'd almost forgotten. It's a good thing you're around, Haken. Then you're going to Grofheim. I have the distinct feeling I finished my business in Strand and was heading there myself. We should caravan. We should. Give it a day. In better circumstances, I'd drink a week away, but let's just be done. Find me tomorrow at the gates. What he's trying to say is the prince is a delight to behold. Where is Moger? Haken have him find a place to put up the warriors. I'm heading up to meet the governor. A host of giants depart in the wake. You recognize a few others are strangers to you. Guess I'm off to find Moger. Moger? See you in the morning, Scrivener. I'll be along. The young prince of men ambles from his ship. He brushes off his tunic, scanning the beach with low eyelid. Ludin looks for all the world the sort of boy who grew up pulling the legs from spiders. The long road back to Grofheim should be more interesting than most years, you think. Weariness suddenly settles in, and you chuckle to yourself about what an odd day it has been. One of the governor's men at the Great Hall could find you a place to sleep. On the other hand, if you're going to join Wagner's caravan tomorrow, it might not hurt to share a drink with Haken, or introduce yourself to the prince they spoke so highly of. I kind of want to go to sleep, but I guess we'll go converse. Scrivener. You find Haken in the mead house, surrounded by other Varl. Strand is no stranger to Varl, but rarely sees this many. Haken waves you over. Went straight for Flagon? Wagner's the one who agreed to pass up a drink. I wasn't invited to Governor's Hall anyway. You already missed the massacre. Every year I make the rounds collecting taxes. Every year it's the human settlements that give me trouble. No surprise, what's this time? When I got here, the Great Hall was already full of bodies. We added a few more. Ha, humans. I guess if I only lived as long as a Yaks fart, I might be desperate to make something of myself too. It's not too late to start trying, Haken. Haken let slip a low chuckle. Any Varl could recount his deeds, known as he is for cutting a swathe through dredge at Wagner's side in the Second War and regularly since. Down here I'm a glorified bodyguard. You might have a point. Just another reason to go back to Grofheim. Soon enough, I imagine. You drink until the mead house becomes overbearing, then step back into the cool air outside. We could go to the Great Hall. Or to this guy. Maybe the Great Hall? I don't know. Let's go see what this guy is. Is this the right place? You find the prince at an inn. Guards blanket the building, including a sharp-eyed Varl who must be working for Luden. A woman in red eventually waves you over and stands nearby, arms crossed. Greetings, Prince Luden. Yes, you're with Wagner? I don't remember you. Not exactly. I've known Wagner a long time. I'll be joining you back to Grofheim with my guards. Luden looks up for the first time. The woman doesn't react. Why? I work for the king, carrying ties to the capital. We crossed by chance. Oh, a tax collector. Fine company. What do you want? Just to introduce myself. You collect taxes for the Varl territories? A true pleasure. Yes. An awkwardness hangs in the air like a thick fog. You take the opportunity to depart. Well, that was an interesting conversation. And to the Great Hall. At dawn, you're woken by a delivery of goods. At least you think it's dawn. Damn hard to tell with the sun never moves. The governor's crest adorns his supply leathers. All there, just as promised, to your mild surprise. You wonder if Eirik had anything to do with that. Your guards take the treasure wagon down to the gates. Wagner is already there. A while later, Luden and his men appear, groggy and disheveled. Moger steps forward, Wagner's quartermaster. If you recall correctly, in charge of his unwieldy entourage of warriors. You know him only in passing. He asks if you're ready to depart. We're ready. Follow Moger and join the others. Usually the small doors set in the gates would be enough to enter or leave the city. The town guards have been told to push them open entirely. They mutter things under their breath that are best not heard. Perhaps the governor expected you to draw a crowd, but it's nothing of the sort, just frustrated, tired people. It summarizes Strand well as a whole, you think. Okay, the caravan is moving. And I'm still not sure. I don't know, that's achievement stuff, which I don't care about. How the hell am I supposed to do the stat increases? Vertifel. Caravan stops for the day. A gift, says Moger, cracking open mead casks, from our gracious friend, the governor of Strand. Hours pass with raucous laughter as the mead is passed throughout the camp. Toast to Wagner. You raise your drink, toasting the alliance between man and Varl. The others join in. Luden's expression is like a stone wall, but the others laugh at your exaggerations. Eventually you sit down beside Wagner. Let's chat with Wagner. Thanks for the speech, slurs Wagner. Looks like you didn't have to miss out after all. Thanks to Moger, I thought the damn governor would never shut up. Did he give you the history of his entire family? He tried, then he asked me to clean up his mess for your benefit, it turns out. I'd have given the job to you too. Gods, there's no joy in politics. Speaking of, what happens after this business with Ludin? Hopefully Boyd goes back to Aberron on his own, and I can take care of some frustration on Dredge or something. Starting to sound like Haken. You don't like the life of a diplomat? Haha, don't you miss the fight, Ubin? Down your meat instead of replying. Wagner slouches and shakes his head. There's no great joy in killing Dredge. Pretty sure this nonsense is some scheme between the two kings to force some kind of lineage. Used to be warriors would follow you for what you'd done. Isn't that why they follow you now? Is it, or is it because I'm the next in line? These lines are getting muddy, old Varl. They've always been muddy, Wagner. Wagner stares into the campfire, lost in thought. You leave him to it. Oh, here we go. You rise groggily. The campsite is a casualty of merriment. Moger is already kicking warriors awake when you spot Ludin stalking your direction. He sidesteps sleeping bodies. Better wake up, you nudge Wagner. You're needed. Okay, I'm needed. Ah, it's Ludin. Always a pleasure. You look well rested? Wagner releases a caged yawn and receives a hard-eyed stare in return. How long to Grofheim? Ha, we're only 2 days out of Strand, you know. Come, I'll show you on a map. Cool, Grofheim's up there. We're way the hell down here. Great. We head north and east past the forts. Grofheim is far from Strand. Going to be a long march. You should have drank last night, Ludin. Why not take the ships to Merstead instead? Merstead? What's the point of marching? Silverstone Bay is called that for a reason. It stays covered in ice all year. It would tear up the long ships. Too bad, though. We could have shown you all the wonders of Skirmstead. Half-sunken city crawling with dredge, Prince. Dredge and glaciers. You like glaciers? Ludin exhales through the nose, a poor disguise for his contempt. He turns and bats aside the tent flaps as he goes, barking at his company in the distance. Don't poke the anthill, Wagner. He seems no happier to be here than you. Spend a few more days with the boy, old friend. You'll be looking for a tall cliff to hop off to. Ludin's got a shorter wick than Haken. Thanks, Wagner. Let's get moving. Another day to Verdefell, if we're lucky. I'm going to nail all these names. Look how great I'm doing. Camp is where you manage your caravan. During travel, you can enter camp at any time by tapping the cap button on the travel HUD. While at camp or in towns, you can upgrade your allies or equip items in the hero's tent. You can pass time by using the rest tent. Resting will improve the caravan's morale. High morale. Excuse me. Well, reduce casualties in war and affect your willpower in combat. Each passing day will use supplies, so only rest when necessary. Training tent will allow you to safely try out any characters in a mock battle. Type leave at the bottom of the campsite when you're ready to go back to the road. Okay, well, I don't need to train. Heroes. Let's look at heroes. What does this one do? Let's see, promote. Alright, so I got 2 points. Oh, so it just auto use my points. Alright, whatever, that's fine. guess this is as good as I get. Alright, we rested. We're moving on.
Wedderfell. Even the name means bad weather, where frozen wind sweeps in from the bay. They tend livestock, but most are just men driven from Strand with nowhere else to go. Why else would anyone stay? We won't stop long.
By Harderborg, that's a lot of Vorl for some missing cattle. What? A couple days back, sent word to Strand about the cattle. Didn't expect an army. He looks pleased with himself until it sinks in that you aren't here on his behalf. Where have your cattle gone? Wouldn't know. My boy's seen men up the hills carrying them away. Don't know many men who can hoist a whole cow by himself. Scaffoldings out here, maybe? Could they have Varl working for them? Not from what the governor told me. I'm going to have a look around and get camp set up. Peasant spits, his eyes anxiously darting about as the caravan sets up tents. We'll be here no more than a day. There's silver for any food you've got. For hundreds of Varl? Are you serious? Whatever you're willing to sell. You're thinking of squatting? Not enough room for a couple of hunters here. Forget hundreds of... Shut up. Hear that? Where's Luton? It's faint. Sounds like fighting. And something else. Hawken takes off a run. Spearmen can attack diagonally. Armor blocks attack on strength. For each enemy armor higher than your strength, there's a 10% chance the attack will be deflected. Notice the chance to hit shown above the attack button. Attack this enemy strength. Deflected attacks do no damage. From here on, you will fail catastrophically if you don't break armor. Damaging both strength and armor is equally important. Well, that is unfortunate. The prince is down. Oof. Alright, fuckers. Why can I not use this? Well, what the fuck do I do with this? Am I just gonna lose? Well, this is stupid. What the fuck do you do with this? You weren't prepared to fight Dredge and go down swinging. Luckily, the others hear battle and are able to pile on Dredge before they can do any more harm. You soon recover. That's ridiculous. You're trying to get yourself killed, Ludin? What are you doing? I was trying to get a shot in between the plates. You never seen the Dredge before, boy? What kind of idiot? Break their armor first. I just tried that. I didn't like that. I don't know if I was supposed to lose or I just did, but I didn't like that. Chapter 2, Cut with Keen-Edged Sword. None of my special abilities were working either, so... Where did that thing come from? She doesn't look happy to see it. Shh, stay close. I think it saw us. Don't get too close. Man, he's just like chasing her down. I don't know what the hell she did. One Dredge down. That guy was a bitch. The foes lying dead at your feet would regret. Okay, I can't read it. It's too fast. Was that a Dredge? Alette looks calm, but you can tell her heart is about to beat right out of her chest. It was. Let me see. Are you hurt? No, I'll be fine. When the dredge attacked your cart and the ox bolted, it spilled most of your supplies. You can see more dark figures moving through trees when you glance that direction. All that food, that's the last we're going to get before winter. What do we do? Don't run, let me think. Forget the supplies. If we hurry, we can gather them before more dredge appear. Okay, we're going to give it a shot, hopefully. Alette calms the ox while you frantically toss supplies back into the cart. More dredge emerge, but you manage to get the cart moving again before they can close in. The colossal figures slowly recede into the distance. Supplies represent food and other goods used to keep everyone alive on the road. When supplies are gone, people will start to die of starvation. The more people are in the caravan, the faster supplies will diminish. You can see how many days of supplies you have on the travel display at the top of the screen. Most towns will have supplies to sell, as well as a few items. And we're going to Groger. Or Skoger? I can't tell. Skoger? Never expected
to see the dredge with my own eyes. What happened in the north? Already we see more between the trees as we approach our home, and Alette grips my hand tight. We must find Ivor.
You know, this is one of those games that they have 3 of. There's like a whole trilogy. And I think the story continues, so we might actually have to play through 2 and 3 eventually. Ivor. The enormous Varl in question towers over the men in the training field. He squints as you approach. Already back, Huntmaster? Thought you'd be tomorrow. Dredge everywhere. Dredge? How did they get through Greyhorn? Must have broken through the fort. Fighters nearby have stopped sparring and they gather around you. Damn it, they'll be here soon if they're not already. You hear screams from the outskirts. People are running toward the Great Hall. Ivor turns to one of the older boys in his group of fighters. Egil, take Alette to the Great Hall. Tell the chieftain what's happening. The rest of you gather up as many people as you can. Come on, Alette. No, wait, I want to help. Let's let her fight. Why not invite some goats to join us too? You're asking for dead kids. I won't let anything happen to her. They'll have to deal with it sooner or later, Ivor. What now? Egil, keep your shields up. We just hold them off until everyone's inside, then we figure out what to do next. More shouts draw your attention to some houses atop a nearby hill. Let's go to the houses. Sure enough, dredge are gathering in number. Fear threatens to bubble over into panic. How long do we need to keep this up, you ask? Ivor shakes his head unknowingly. That's a bad sign. Turn order. Can I change the turn order? I am move. I want her to go last, not because she's a girl, but because she... because she's ranged. Alright, we're gonna ready battle. Alright, we've got 4 people to fight. I I guess I don't get to choose where everybody is here, the positioning. Alright, one down. Oof. Oh no, run, Alette. Run, Alette. Oh my god, he's just like getting demolished there. Oh, what did I do? I didn't mean to rest. She's gonna die too here. Oh, no. How do I make the fucking special work? I don't understand. Alette's gonna die. Oh, I shouldn't have let her come. Can you use battery ram yet? No. Oh, what the fuck? I didn't target the right person. We're gonna move away. Oh, god damn it. How do I target? There we go. I can still only hit for 1. That's okay. That's pretty dumb. That fucker's dead. Alright, let's knock out this last guy if we can. Alright, we got him. We're gonna knock him out. No armor left. Alright. Victory! Do I, like, I don't lose Alette right off the bat, right? A black horde is forming at the tree line. Enough of this, says Ivor, glancing over his shoulder. We're going back. Then adds, Rook, I'm doing one more check of the houses around here. See if you can find anyone. Now, let's keep watch. As you turn to head back, Colossus appears around the side of a house. It silently looms over Alette. His face is expressionless, stony mask, more terrifying than any roar it may have produced. Time seems to slow as it pulls back its enormous mace. You scream Alette's name. She snaps to attention, confused, but does not dive out of harm's way as you'd imagined in your head. Suddenly, Egil is between the dredge and Alette, his shield above him. The black stone mace falls, Egil's shield crumbles, and so does the boy beneath it. A moment later, Ivor is there. His sword runs through the neck of the dredge. He's gone, says Ivor, looking over the boy's scattered skull. Alette gasps, her hands to her mouth. I'm checking the other houses, Ivor remarks. See if you can find anyone and then meet me at the Great Hall. Let's look at our heroes here. So Egil is down. Alette is injured. That's unfortunate for her. Two points available here. I gotta say, this guy's pretty awesome. Ivor's pretty strong. All right. Let's go. What's at the market? Alright, just spent all my renown. Let's go. I don't know if any of that's worth it, by the way. It was my fault. He was a good fighter for his age. No family, I thought. I've forgotten what it's like facing Dredge. I'm out of practice, Rook. Look, as long as I've known you, you've always wormed your way out of talking about Dredge. This would be a time to start talking. I can tell you they rarely stop for rest. The sooner we leave, the better. They'll follow us until we're tripping over tired women and children, then they'll attack. Even after we're wiped out, they'll keep coming, trampling corpses in their wake. There's no end to them. How did anyone survive the Great Wars? Ask the Menders. I wasn't there. But I know you fought your fair share. Yeah, I've killed enough slag for one lifetime. That's why you're going to save us now. Don't lay that on me. Come on, let's get inside. Let's equip those items that I bought. Let's see. So this is a 10% crit chance, but you gain an aggro. This one's minus 1 aggro. So I think I want... give the aggro to Ivor here. He's a big dude. He can take it. And I'll give her the minus aggro. Oh, she's not high enough level. Alright, that's fine. Does this game autosave? I'm gonna have a hell of a time if it doesn't. Rook, thank the gods you made it. The Great Hall is an utter den, filled as it is with dozens of terrified families. Don't stop worrying yet. I haven't. What in depths is going on? Dredge milling around, ransacking houses? The chieftain's wife finds you, pushing through the crowd. You must know we're here. They must know we're here. Why haven't they attacked? Don't know. I wouldn't expect it to last. I've made some decisions, but tell me straight. What would you both do in my place? I'd have left by now. They're already outside the doors. Not so easily done, Rook. Chieftain sighs a deep and heavy breath, slumping. He looks years older. Oh, I imagined us fighting back and saving the town. But nonsense, Ivor's right, of course. We can't just wait to be slaughtered. Where do we go if Dredge are coming down from the north? Frostfeller to the west. It's close and it has walls. I intend to be free of Skogar in one push. Nobody left behind. I wouldn't. If they follow us, we're done. What do you suggest? Let me create a distraction, then go. I'll catch up on the road to Frostfeller. What if we set the town on fire as we left? That's one thing I will not do. We will return here one day, whether I live to see it or not. Are we abandoning the storehouse? If we have to, we'd be leaving behind everything but the supplies you brought, Rook. On the other hand, Frostfeller is at least a week away. I'm not sure we've got that much food. It'll be cutting it close. If we're saddled with heavy carts, it'll be impossible to outpace the Dredge. And if we run out of food before we get to Frostfeller, it won't matter how many escape. I still say let me handle the Dredge. This is a tough choice here. I didn't ask for advice just to ignore it. Promise you're not throwing away your lives on this. That wasn't part of the plan. Ivor? Nope. And I'm coming with you. That catches you by surprise. The chieftain rubs his chin but doesn't argue. From the training she's given Alette, you've no doubt she can handle a bow. Fine, I'll get the townspeople ready. Make your move, Ivor. We'll leave when you're clear. Alright, I got a new party member. That's exciting. Alette finds you before you have a chance to find her. I know what you're doing. You have to let me with you. Don't leave me, please. I'll be good. Okay, Alette, just promise to listen. I promise, she says. Ivor soon finds you both. Let's go. Remember, we're not trying to fight them all. We're just getting their attention. You step into the town courtyard where you can already see Dredge in every direction. Ivor starts banging his shield and swearing at them. We kill a few, he shouts, and the rest will follow. You steel yourself for a tough fight. Alright, so Alette is fucking injured. I know she wants to be in the party, but that's not happening. I mean, I guess I don't know the consequences here, so let's just plug her in. Hopefully we can keep her alive. If not, she's dead. She's not important to me. Did that guy just hit his own party dude with an armor break? I think he did. What is going on with the, like... We're just gonna move over here. Oh, fucking Alette. Man, Alette's injured already. Man, that took no time at all, did it? Pillage! Alright. I'm digging the combat. I love this. Has a story too, that's kind of nice, right? You have no problem getting the dredge to follow. Things begin to look dicey, but you're eventually able to lose them in the thick woods, where they have difficulty keeping up. You climb to an overlook and wait for the caravan to appear. An hour later, Oddleaf is the first to spot them. There, she points to the road. As you rejoin them, you can tell there was trouble. Some people wounded, others missing. The group is gathered at the rear of the caravan. Oddleaf walks beside a covered figure in the open wagon. Old fool, she says through clenched teeth. I should have stayed with him. The chieftain's death hits you like a blow to the gut. You continue on to Frostveller in silence. Alette's hands firmly in your own. Pausing to catch your breath, you glance backward to see the caravan stretched out past the point of safety. They're spaced out so far, you're unable to see those bringing up the rear. We've got to pull them together, says Ivor. Be dangerous to stop until at least the Godstone. The path should be just ahead. Let's rally the caravan with a speech. You make your way into the rear and hoist a small child on your shoulders. Fight for every step. Remember those who didn't make it and push onward. The clansmen see your effort and follow suit, pushing themselves harder. Far enough for today, I think. After a day of misery, men and women drop their meager possessions beneath the godstone of Hidrivalidor. Yeah, nailed it. What are we doing? We just left our homes because suddenly there were dredge. Chieftain did what I suggested, and look what he got for it. Look at these people. Somebody has to hold them together. That's you, Rook. How am I supposed to do that? Why? Tell them everything's going to be alright? Gods, Rook, I don't know. Pretend you know what you're doing. That's what the rest of us do. Thanks for the advice. Then do whatever you want. Let them fend for themselves if you can live with it. You humans are absurd, Rook. Furious when you're not in control, terrified when you are. Pull it together. You're right. Think of how I feel. I'm stuck nursing a bunch of weaklings. You do care, I can tell. Men are a plague on the world, worse than any dredge as far as I can tell. Chats like this are why we get along so well, Ivor. You sleep poorly, the sun forever stuck to an eternally bright sky. Before the others rise, you find yourself staring over long, low hills covered in pine. Weathered stone doesn't see many visitors. Not much reason to travel so far east. I can't see without my glasses. Sorry for the delay here. When hunters come through, they sometimes stop to give offerings, out of habit more than anything else. That the gods are dead. Now that the gods are dead. Hridvaldir was the god of hunters and of wild beasts, occasionally seen roaming the land as both man and wolf. He was always depicted in effigy with his terrible spear. You wonder what he'd think about his woods being full of dredge now. A young girl from the caravan approaches you. I made this for you, she says, handing you a crude necklace carved from a branch she must have found nearby. Thank you for saving my mama, she says, before running back to her tent. Back at your tent, you rouse Alette, who clings to your arm until she's completely awake. Bad dreams. Eventually, the camp is broken down, and it's time to move on to Frostfeller. It feels like an end more than a start. Gained Jarkin Rune. Okay. Or is it just Jarkin? Is the B silent? Alright, we are definitely short on supplies. Caravan halts when a group of men appear on the trail, weapons at their feet. We've seen the dredge in your wake, says one. We don't wish to meet them alone. If you'll let us join you, we'll show you a watering hole with enough animals to fill those supply wagons. An inherent fear of stranger raises mutters from the caravan. What are you doing out here alone? We were hunting here for food when the dredge found our village, says the man. When we returned, he looks away, unable to finish. Allow the men to join. If you'll be no trouble, come along, you say. The men cautious to join your ranks and prove trustworthy. A hidden watering hole nearby is teeming with animals, and soon your supplies are nicely restocked. Alright. And 12 fighters. 18 supplies. That's good. Morale declined. During a rest, one of the men got too drunk and ended up splashing mead in a warrior's face. A brawl erupts, many thrown fist and a broken bone. Later, the instigator, Raffenverstar, is tossed on the ground at your feet. Angry clansmen look for satisfaction. His personal defense is little more than drooling mumbles. Tie him up until he dries out. Grab a rope from the supplies and make short work of the sod. A few onlookers throw scraps at him, but most just walk away with a laugh, at least content that some measure has been taken. I like that the decisions you make on the caravan have some impact too. Caravan is visibly relieved to find a small village on the way to Frostfeller with beds and fresh supplies. The locals here are shocked by the news you bring and discuss it amongst themselves while you set up nearby. Alright, so let's look at our heroes first. Alright, he did not rank up. And, you know, just to call out, Alette's useless for me. She keeps dying. She's never going to level up that way. Let's see, market. Oh, there's a map. Can I equip this stuff on anybody? I'm gonna give that to Alette because she keeps dying. Alright, let's look at the... Oh, and can I get supplies? We're gonna get the max supplies. Because we have a lot of people on our group now. So here's where we are. Are we going towards Grofheim? Are we going to meet up with the other dudes there? I guess that's the intention. We're going to Frostveller though, huh? Okay, let's rest. And let's leave. You're only just outside the village when two men in red approach you. My name is Hogan, says one, gesturing to the other. My brother is Mogan. Many from the village wish to join you to Frostveller. A third man, exuding rage, charges up to the group. Shut your mouth, Hogan, he screams. What's going on? These bastards don't speak for us. They've been trying to divide the village since you got here. True. You can keep whoever wants to stay and die. The rest of us will go with the reasonable people of Skoger. I'll have you both gutted before I let half the village desert. Behind the angry villager, a mob of armed thugs have appeared, all furrowed brows and nervous stares. You both know what will happen to the rest of us if the fields are abandoned. Nobody leaves. There won't be anything to tend once the dredge arrive. Dredge my ass. I don't know what the scam is this time, Hogan, but you got two choices. Get back to work, or I'm finally putting you in the ground. Oh, they're a capitalist village. I didn't know that. Mogan, what do you say? Thought it was unfair that he only asked me? Mogan draws his axe slowly, followed by Hogan. Despite their confidence, the brothers are significantly outnumbered. I think I make a poor farmer. I'm going to side with the brothers here, I think. I kind of like them. Normally I wouldn't get involved, but... one has a scar and one doesn't. That's the only difference. That's great. Okay, we're ready for battle. I just rested up, too. Move him there. I think I've finally got a handle on some of the controls here. Alright, now everybody's kind of... now we're ready. Man, I shouldn't have moved my guy up so far, I guess. Well, that is unfortunate in a lot of ways. Hey, Landmark. You're on an airplane? Oh, that's cool. Where are you going? I hope you're going somewhere nice. I wish I could, like... Is there... Can I use my mouse? Can I want to target somebody else. I don't want to target this guy. Maybe that'll do it. No! It's gonna be kind of close. Boom. Armor down. Alright. Let's see if we can do some damage to this guy. There we go. The combat's a little frustrating sometimes. You know, like, I felt like I was doing okay there, and then both of my main dudes got hurt. Brothers thank you with wide grins. Soon many of the villagers have joined your caravan. You scan around anxiously for Alette, who had gone missing when the fighting began. Eventually you find her watching from afar. Hogan returns at the moment, introducing you to his son and wife, and you soon set out again. We just gained fighters, clansmen, renown, supplies. Morale improved. Alette marches quietly alongside the caravan, a little distant since leaving the village. When you stop for a rest, Oddleaf approaches you both. Alette, I have something for you. Oddleaf has gathered up the long banner for the caravan and smiles warmly as she passes it to Alette. What's this about? I was hoping you'd sew up the banner with everything that has happened since we left Skogar. Come, find me another time, Rook, and we'll talk. Before you can comment, she departs. Dad, are you the chieftain now? Dad, are you the chieftain now? I don't know. Oh, then that means you're both quiet for a moment while Alette unfurls the banner. Oddleaf has been teaching me how to sew. She speaks pretty highly of you. Can we read the part about Mom? You nod. On the banner has been sewn the story of the families who have lived in Skager throughout the years, just as is done on every banner in town. I wish she were here, but I'm glad she isn't. Section of banner about your family is short, but Alette has been sewing in colorful designs. Why do you say that? So she doesn't have to deal with all of this, dredge, leaving home, and why did you have to kill those men in the village? I mean, if it's okay to ask. I had to make a hard choice. Because the dredge are terrifying. Every time we have to fight them, I just want to run, but I don't want to kill a person, please. Are you mad at me? I'm glad you don't want to. Alette smiles at this, then her face sinks again. I guess I would do it if I really had to, but do we have to? I know what you mean. Yeah, I know, Dad. So I guess Alette is his daughter. I didn't realize that until this piece of the story. I think you're doing a good job. She hugs you. Spend the rest of your time together sewing new verses into the banner. For better or worse, the story of Skoger is your burden now. Alright, so... heroes. Yeah, see, my two main guys got injured, so I feel like I have to rest a little bit. I don't even know what these stats are. Oh, here we go. Willpower. So I guess willpower is good. What is exertion? We're going to give her armor break. And then... and I guess strength. I think those are the top two stats I want, right? And then we can figure out the rest. And I've got a bunch of guys injured here. 3 strength in battle, rest in camp to heal. Okay, so maybe we can just rest. How are you doing, Odd? I'm alright. Not at first. Sometimes when a loved one dies, people say it doesn't sink in for a while. It sunk in for me right away. People tell me I'm a strong woman. It's funny, my father named me Oddleaf before I was even born. He wanted a boy so badly. Strong woman? What does that even mean? I feel nothing about my husband dying. People think I'm strong. If I cry because my insides feel like they're on fire, I'm weak. Why does that feel so backwards? I'm sorry, Rook. It's been hard. You're not sure what to say. In the many years you've known the chieftain's wife, this is probably the most you've ever talked. You asked me to come find you? Yes, it's about the banner. I thought about it a long time. He asked me to give it to you, you know, if something happened. Why me? He always depended on you, Rook. It should be mine. I could carry it. But I thought about why he named you. I get it. They won't follow a woman. Families would leave. Our banner would be divided. I would vouch for you. Come on, Rook. This isn't the time for pretend. It's not just about our small town. What happens the first time we need something from another clan? How will that go? And the first time someone thinks they can take advantage of us? I think this is what has to happen. I'll do my best. I think so too. Listen, I know I drag this out. The truth is, my husband and I could never have a child. I don't want our banner to end here. It'll be safe with you and Alette. I know you're going to take care of her. She puts her hand on your shoulder as she heads back to the camp. Morale has improved. Alright, let's rest. Does that automatically heal my guys? No, they've got 2 more fucking days to heal to get Ivor up. Alright. That is it. We're done. We're done resting. Before we move on, though, I'm going to take a little break here. Give me just a minute here, and I'll be back in a second with more Banner Saga. Okay, I'm back here. Let's get that out of the way. Get that back up. Here we go. Alright, let's leave the camp. Heading westward. At a small split in the trail, a few fighters stopped to speak with you, each carrying a single pack. We recognize this place, one man says. Spent several years here with some kin. If they're still around, we have to warn them of what's coming. With luck, we'll find you again in less than a week. Let's see them off with extra supplies. If that's all you're taking, you may never make it, you say, grabbing a few items from a supply wagon. You strap the additional provisions to their backs. Search for family instead of food, you say with a smile. The men clasp wrists with you before departing. Morale decline. Complaints of raffiners' excessive drinking have resurfaced. This time the man stumbled over some tent ropes, pulled the snagged canvas through a campfire, nearly setting a supply wagon aflame. Clansmen put out the fire in both the wagon and Rainford's leg before leading him to you. This man drinks nothing from water from now on. He groggily agrees, slurring his way through promises to quit being such a nuisance. Many of the onlookers snort or roll their eyes, but go back to their business. Somehow you doubt it'll be long before Raffiner manages to find another drink, whether you allow it or not. Next time he's going to be really punished, guys. We got to punish that guy. Dread, shouts a man from the back of the caravan. It's Raffensher, the unabashed drunk, staggering towards you, looking not entirely sober. He screams again, pointing to the trees in the distance. Fear races through the caravan as fighters pull their weapons. Scouts return with no sightings, and furious men surround him. Do I let the clansman deliver the justice, or do I banish him? I'm gonna banish him. Alright, -1 clansman. Morale declined because of that.
Once a strong, thriving city, the walls of Frostweather now just keep the howling winds at bay. With luck, they'll hold out against Dredge as well.
You jostle through fallow crowds of sunken faces who appear as though they've been freezing in front of Frostfeller for days. The gates are closed. You come to a stop at the bottom of the hill. This is not looking good. Why are there so many people in the fields? We can't stay outside in the open like this. Oddly finds you amongst the many refugees. Rook, I just talked to some of the women here. Nobody's being let into the city. Why? It's overrun with Varl from Blotzbackler, Greyhorn, people from Bitra, all of the nearby villages. The Dredge are everywhere. And the chieftain of Frostfeller has locked himself in the Great Hall. That's when they close the gates. When the Dredge come, these hills will turn red. We have to get in there. Where else could we go? With our whole caravan? South, but Sigelhorn or Bosgard are so far away there may as well be horseborn lands. The Dredge are moving south. If we keep moving west, we might be able to get out of their path. Wormtoe is half as far as Sigelhorn home and full of Varl. And across the waste, these people won't make it. I don't like any of these ideas. That's because they're all bad. There's no point talking about leaving. We've got to get in there. I can get the gate open. Let's see if there's any other way before we start breaking down gates. I wasn't going to break it, just push really hard. Alright, let's look here. First, the market. Let's get these. Nothing to do with the heroes at this point other than change their gear. Which I don't need to do. Well, I guess we could equip Hogan with something here. Approach the gate, where hundreds of people have gathered in the trodden bloody space in front of the door. Several pincushioned bodies lie there, unclaimed, as though they simply belong there. Archers up on the walls make it clear that nobody will be getting in. Men and women below intermittently call for mercy and reason, when they're not flinging stones and curses. Spent an hour talking to different people who all have the same story. A couple days ago, the chieftain shut himself in, closed the gates, and refused any more refugees. They've got huge stores of supplies in there too, adds one man. They're just hoarding them. Word from Skoger, open the gates. You shout to the archers, not expecting much. You get as much response as you expected. You leave the crowds and head back down the hill. There's a lot of people gathered around the rest houses. Maybe we can find help there, at least make ourselves useful. Spend a whole day at the rest houses. Everyone gives you the same story. The chieftain just shut himself in. There are a lot of wounded people here. We could help them. Aled and Oddleaf spend the day along with others in your caravan treating wounds, most of which came from the archers at the gate. I overheard from one woman that the city has been sending carts with food around. We'll wait and confront them. Keep your sword down until we need it. We'll make a deal unless they're looking for a fight. Early the next day, you spot another cart leaving the gates of the city. After they've thrown their scraps to the refugees, you approach. Stop, my friend. My friend wanted to talk to you. It's not what I wanted. I think I can guess why. If we knew there were more fighters and Varls out here, Eckel might have brought you in the city. Who's Eckel? He's in charge up there. In charge of what? Better let him explain. Fine, let's go. What in the depths is this? Man orders his guards to get the door closed again before more refugees notice. You said you wanted fighters. You heard about the chieftain? We heard he's hiding on the Great Hall. Oh really? Think you mean hiding on a grave? He's eating worms, if that wasn't clear. What happened in here? As soon as they heard Dredge were coming, anyone who could swing an axe got one to the head. That's the short story anyway. At least 3 clans in here warring over turf and food, and the worst were the godforsaken Varl. He eyes Ivor and shrugs with exaggeration if simply stating the obvious. We're in more danger out here than out there? Look, I was in charge here before things went to crap. You've got some people who can fight, you've got your own Varl. That counts for something. I can keep your flock safe in the Great Hall. You fight for me and to take back Frostfeller. I don't take sides. Too hard to tell when the good guys have become the bad. Fine, cut these sheep loose and watch your own asses. What do I care? All I want to do right now is get out of the damn streets. Think carefully about what you want. Do we really want Frostfeller? I think we can just leave. Let's just leave. Chapter 3, Little Did They Sleep. I don't know the point in fighting over a town where everybody's fighting. Hacken, we're back. I was able to get about as many warriors from Strand as you wanted, and more weapons, extra supplies too. You perk up just now realizing Mogurt's been talking to you. Since Wagner died, everyone's been looking to you to make the decisions. It's exhausting. Haken? I heard you. I was saying the Varl we sent to the Strand have returned. Governor gave us most of what we wanted. Good enough. Much resistance from the governor? Some. I don't think he was happy about us buying his fighters using his own money. He also insisted we take on a lackey of his to watch over his property, a man named Eirik. Eirik? I met him. He seems confident enough. Regardless, the governor will have to get over it unless he wants Dredge crawling through the streets. We put down every slag that has wandered through here while you were gone. Enough flapping of mouths, then. You sure that wound is healed, Luden? I agree. Enough has already gone wrong. If something happens to the prince on a mission of peace, the alliance would rot. Or worse. What do you expect me to do? Go back to my father and tell him one Varl died so the alliance is over? He has a point. As Wagner's kinder, you have the same responsibilities, Haken. We would only be made to do this again later, and I will not suffer it all a second time. Either take us through the wandering road or do your job and slaughter some Dredge. Luden turns abruptly with a scowl. He stamps back to his ring of tent and followers. Wandering road's not an option with this many. I could crush that boy's skull with one hand. If Luden wouldn't be deterred, you'll have to deal with it. Don't let Luden get to you. Let's go. I'm sick of looking at this dump. What do I tell the warriors, Haken? Tell them to be cautious. No more losses. Will do. Give the word and we'll set off. Alright, there's a lot going on here. So let's look at the heroes first. Got Eirik to add into the fold here. And we've got some people to talk to. I'd ask how you're dealing with Wagner's death, but I already know the answer. Do you? Steady old Mogur, which is good. I know most of these Varl, but they're not under my command. They came to follow Wagner. Tell you the truth, I wouldn't want to be in your position either. Anything you can tell me about the caravan? Throw together this many Varl, half of them want to hit each other, the rest want to be left alone. Anyone I should keep an eye on? There's a couple of clan leaders trying to show off for each other, not a big deal. I've got it under control. The fighters we just got from Strand aren't bad, but they're unruly. Give it a few days. And there are a few moaning about fighting for you instead of Wagner. Those are the ones to worry about. What about Luden's men? They don't want to hear anything from me. I know that. Any problems? Could be. Luden's pet Varl is named Bercy. I'm not sure where he came from or what his deal is. Bastard knows how to fight, but there's something I don't like about him. His girl in red is scary too. Sierra. She's probably the best fighter Luden's got, to be honest. I overheard some of the Varl call her the witch. Why? Flaming arrows, I think. It's a good trick, but the fire upsets our Varl more than the dredge. Still doesn't make sense. Witch? They're not scholars, Hawken. I think they're mostly just afraid of her. That makes more sense. Don't let her find out. You ever wanted to be in command? More than I am? Any more rope and I'd hang myself. I doubt that. I forgot you weren't around back then. At one point I had more rope. I hung myself. So no, I'm not interested in command. It's all yours. Thanks. You think we're walking into a death trap? This many Varl? No, we should be alright. Things should get rough though. I don't like being the one to send Varl to their deaths. I like worrying about myself, and that's the extent of it. Who would have expected Wagner to drop like that to a couple of slag? I'm still wondering what happened. He had hundreds of dead slag to his name. I don't get it. Just happens sometimes. No big moment. I'm sure it surprised him even more than us. Although I have to wonder... Nah, never mind. Anyway, I'll worry about the warriors. You worry about not doing something stupid. That's asking a lot. What were you holding back about Wagner? I'd rather not say, Hawken. Why not? It's the kind of thing that gets stuck in your head and you need a clear one. It's better if you let me worry about it. How did Wagner die? He ran into a dredge. Wasn't expecting it. When we found him, he was lying face down like he was struck from behind. Did he really get taken down by a random slag? Who else was there? You think Luden? Probably didn't, but damn it, we should have kept an eye on the bastard. If you see anything else, tell me. I will. Let's get back to it. I will. Alright. Anybody else to talk to? Yeah, let's talk to Ubin here. You knew him well, didn't you? Wagner? No, well, I don't know. I remember him. Always rushing around with some important business, but I never knew him. Never got a chance to talk much. Longer than I did, in any case. I suppose so. When he spoke, Varl listened. I knew that. I could use help here. Scrivener leans back, considering the sentiment. I've seen worse. They respect you for your ability to swing an axe. They need to respect you for your actions. But you're not talking to the right Varl. Mogur's got some skill there. Most I can do is hold a quill. I heard you were a terror back in the day. Do you know how old I am? Dare I ask? I'm competing, you know. Nobody knows how old we Varl can get, naturally. There's one of them named Snorri. He's got a few years on me. Just hunkers in Grofheim collecting rhyme. Bastard might actually beat me. Another one named Krumer is close, I think, but the addled son of a bitch still welcomes a fight. He'll probably be off before I am. Although, Scrivener gestures around him as if to remind you of the current situation. You chuckle. Anyway, point of what difference does it make? I'm just a delivery barn for Jarander now. Can't remember half of what I've done. Hence the journal? Hence. Don't get fancy on my behalf, Hawken. Oh, I won't. What are you always putting down in that journal? How do you mean? What do I write? I write what happens. We've got a banner in Aberang for that, you know? You mean the long banner? Yes, the Menders wove up something that writes its own history. You want my opinion, I don't trust it. No? It tells a broad story. I think there's some value in the narrow. Whose story does it write? Mine? Theirs? Luden's? Gods forbid. Ah, you relic. The gods have been dead a long time. Oh, have they? Old habits, I suppose. What do you suppose happened to the sun? Gods, how should I know? Never seen something like this before. Are you worried? Some of the Varl in the caravan think the world's coming to an end. Others think it's the best thing that could happen. No more black months. I'll take it if it's the end. I'm ready. What about the rest of us? To the depths with you. Ha! Alright, get some rest. Good, alright. So story has been looked over. Let's leave. Let's get on our way. Look at that, says Moger, in the hills. More dredge. No more than a dozen, though. We could just as easily pass by as rush up there to slaughter them. Luden overhears. There's a dozen dredge heading towards Strand, he says. You ask him when he started to care about Strand. I don't, he replies. I thought you did. It'd be a waste of time. Strand can handle that. Moger, send some warriors to take care of it. Let's do that. Will do, he says. Hopefully they'll be able to catch back up to the caravan. He rushes off to find some volunteers. Ludin and his men are not asked. You return to travel. Haken, you can hear Ludin's hard-booted trot as you set up camp the first day. Brace yourself. Can we speak as equals? We can try. Seems clear to me you plan to kill a lot of dredge along the way, am I right? Why do you ask? Because since we left Oberyn, the Varl has been acting like I need protection. Don't assume only the Varl can fight. You understand me? This is my banner we fly to Grofheim, the banner of Oberyn. I insist on joining in battle. Almost got it in your first encounter and ready for more? Whatever you like, Prince. I expected more resistance. From Wagner, maybe. They tell me you were his kinder. That's why you're in charge now. Some sort of next of kin Varl thing? Don't you take on his responsibilities? In my own way. And stop acting like I'm a thorn in your side. When you're nearly 200 years, it's hard to take a 20-year-old man. Is that right? Seriously. You better start. We'll both be king someday. It's the last thing I need to think about right now. Ludin looks at you as though you punched yourself in the face. He heads back to his tent before saying whatever was on his mind. Alright, on exertion. If you've gotten some characters with high exertion, don't overlook this important stat. Exertion lets you add more willpower to your actions. Want to add more than one star to your attack? Upgrading to 3 exertion lets you add 3 damage to every attack, or move 3 spaces further. You see her, right? She watches you approach with her head tilted back and points a thumb towards Ludin's tent. No, here for you. Oh? Can we talk? Shakes her head no, a smile on her lips, eyelids low. Why not? I don't. You don't talk? No. You do, though. I don't. It's about the flaming arrows. She raised an eyebrow. Varl and fire don't get along. All you get is a shrug. If you're going to use them, she pulls an arrow, there's a flick of the wrist you don't quite catch. Suddenly a bird combust in the tree behind you and falls to the ground, smoldering. Half the camp is turned to watch. Don't tell me not to. Alright, that's great. She was a lot of fun to talk to. You have a moment? You're Bercy, you're Haken. We've gotten that out of the way, haven't we? I had some questions. Say what you want to say. What's a Varl working for Ludin? What's a Varl doing working for another Varl? What difference does it make? Looks like you're in charge right now, so do me a favor and don't get Ludin killed. He's important to you? No, but that's one way to put it. Where'd you learn to fight? Same as you, by fighting. You know what I mean. I robbed well-protected merchants for at least one man's lifetime. Is that what you mean? Yeah, not anymore. I've had a lot of jobs. Can I trust you? What a loaded question. Depends what you mean. Whose back will you have if things go wrong? Assume I'm looking out for myself and you'll figure it out. Does Ludin understand that? Ludin doesn't even understand that half his army is here to protect him from the people he talks to. Okay, alright. Alright, I think we're good to leave. Let's move on. The morale has declined. We're almost to a camp up here. You overhear a conversation while marching alongside the warriors. I'm happy to stomp some slags as much as the next Varl, but I don't join up to take orders from Hakan. Apparently he doesn't realize you're within earshot. Not willing to die for him either. Challenge the Varl to a fight. Who will he take orders from, you ask loudly. Wagner's dead. We can decide right now. You raise your fist, he does the same reluctantly. His best shot's not bad, but you've had a lot worse. You grab him by the horn, swing his entire massive frame through the air, and plant him to the ground. What's his name, you ask his companions. Gris? Take care of Gris, you reply. You hear them laughing at his misfortune as you wander off. A small gathering of tents comes into view, a group of merchants from the look of it. You ask what they're doing here. We were camped out at the Godstone ahead, one tells you, leaving an offering to Dingler. As one does, his expression turns. Dredge started appearing out of nowhere. Some of us stayed, thought the Godstone would be safe, but damned if I know why. We've been dodging them since we left. Assure them that the way to the Strand is clear and see them off. Thank you. One stops as he passes. If you're passing by Dingler, do me a favor. My wife's brother stayed behind. You'll know him by a necklace with many rings on it. If you see him, say we're safely in Strand. You nod. After a short time, they continue on. Morale has declined again. This background is really nice looking. The caravan slows unexpectedly. Word travels down the line and then to Mover. It tells you Dredge know we're coming. Probably saw us back at Vetterfell. Did their usual lurking. Could have been bad if we'd plotted into them, but we saw them first. Dredge watch you, waiting to see what you do. When's the last time you commanded a few hundred Hakons? Asked Mover. Don't overthink it. The warriors can take care of themselves. War. When you come across more enemies than your party can handle, you'll engage in war. Give your army orders to fit the situation, but be prepared to get your own hands dirty too. By making battle easier for yourself, you'll end up with higher casualties. Or you can take burden on yourself with a harder battle, but save more lives. If you're ever desperately outnumbered, it may be best to run, avoiding battle completely. Dredge lined the battlefield, weapons drawn. A fight seems inevitable. Take a quick head count. There must be at least 502 of them. You have 185 fighters and 456 Varl at your side. Even from here, you can see nervous glances amidst the enemy rank. This looks like a good chance to press your advantage. Ah, let's charge. All right, let's formation. Hey, Zephiel. I don't know about that. My work's been busy. Real busy. I'm not a fan of being swamped all the time. Lady Brioc and the kids are going to the beach today, so I get to work without anybody being here. So that's nice, I guess. Let's put him there. I think we can kind of cover the backside here. I don't know, man. Let's do this. I'll put him there. Put her right in the middle. There we go. Let's do that. There. Try that. I might, yeah. I might. I'd actually like to see it. Maybe you can show it to me on Discord. Yeah, you sent me that link. That looked pretty good. Let's do this. Fire Archer. You know, okay, so here's the thing. If I pre-order it, like, even tomorrow, can I play it early? Because without anybody being here, I might actually end up wanting to, like, play it and stream it. Alright, maybe I'll do that. Bitch. Wait, did a new one just show up, or did... I think a new one just showed up. That's not good. I don't know about streaming FF Tactics either. I love that game, but it's considerably slower, like, than you remember it. I played it recently. It's really slow, actually. And I love that game. I do love it. It's just, it's such a slow-paced game. I don't know if it's something I really want to stream. Yeah. Like, I don't know if you've seen, like, there used to be, and I don't know if it's even a thing anymore, but there was, like, this, like, betting thing where you could watch people play FF Tactics, and they had, like, parties that were set up that you could bet on for stream points. And, it was really cool. But it was super fast-paced. Like, they sped it up, like, 10 times. Take a moment to survey the battlefield. The enemy is being pushed back all the way down the line. You could take this opportunity to pull back and leave combat immediately. On the other hand, chasing down more dredge would rally your fighters and save a few lives. You won't have time to rest or change your party, but a chance to loot your enemies might reveal items they took from previous victims. Oh. I think we need to pull back. The dredge gives you a wide berth and scatter into the distance. Lost 6 fighters and 16 Varl. I think my guys would have gotten further hurt there, though. Ludin has been sending scouts ahead, quicker and more nimble than your Varl. One rushes back just as you cross the hilltop out of breath. Dredge, that direction. You overhear him tell Ludin. About a day away, they found a village. You ask what they're doing. Tearing the place apart, he says. Maybe 1,000 of them or more, looking for gods, knows what. This will be a bigger fight than usual. Ludin is characteristically silent, waiting to see what you say. Draw some of them forward and split them? Yeah, let's do that. You send a small group of shield bangers to get their attention. They do. Half a day later, mini dredge are giving chase up the hill in their plodding sort of way. You get ready to lay waste. Dredge line the battlefield, weapons drawn. A fight seems inevitable. You take a quick head count. There's 492 of them. You have 179 fighters and 440 Varl at your side. Looking across the battlefield, you wonder if tactical approach would be best. If you keep your weapon sheathed, you'll be able to take in a fight from afar and give orders with a clear head. You never tell exactly how it's going to turn out, though. Well, let's try that. Listen to orders. You hang back and try to direct the chaos of battle as best you can. Victory. Alright. I didn't have to fight, though. I don't know, fighting gives my guys experience, so maybe I should just continue to fight. I've lost like 100 Varl. The village still a day away, you're eating on the march. A Varl approaches. We had words earlier, says Briss. You recall him claiming that he didn't care for your command. You were right in what you did. Let me join your guard and fight at your side. Ah, I should have invited him. That was my bad. You're close enough to hear dredge rattling through the buildings below. Pull them out of the houses, Mogr suggested. Slag just can't resist an ambush. We'll have better luck in an open field. We'll skirt the village. They start the last week of August, going into September. But I just was, I've been trying to watch what Georgia and a few other states have been doing because they've opened up schools. And I'm not convinced I'm sending my kids in. I saw a bunch of schools in Cobb County down in Georgia already shut down. The cases are crazy. I don't know. I get the impression that schools might shut down for good pretty quickly down in Georgia. So I'm going to wait till next week and see how things go with some other states, but I may not send my kids in. We might do cyber. See, that's the thing. Masks are optional there, which means nobody's wearing them. But here, they're not going to be optional. Everybody has to wear them. But it doesn't really matter, because when they're in the lunchroom, what do they have to do? They have to take off their fucking mask. So it's all of these unvaccinated kids around each other. I don't know. I'm on the fence on it, because I really want my kids to go into school, but I'd rather them not get sick. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll decide next week. You hear a shout echo on the wind, a standard Varl greeting. A caravan of Varl are heading your direction, probably a few hundred in total. You meet them halfway. You must be with Wagner. Wagner didn't make it. You serious? It's getting grim out here, but I didn't expect that. You're flying the Schlid banner. What's happening? Isn't Ulfar in charge there? I'm Fassel. Ulfar's still in Schlid, in case he needs to be. He sent me to meet Wagner. Well, you. We've seen nothing happening in Schlid yet. What do you mean? No dredge. They never came through Schlid. They're all pouring out of Ridgehorn. We only just found out about it. One group went that way, we came here. Ridgehorn? The fort on the bay? That place has been abandoned for hundreds of years. Yeah, maybe that's why they're here. By all accounts, it looks like another damned invasion. Ludin forces his way into the conversation. Wait a godless minute. What did you do? Careful now. You be careful. What did you start? You think men don't remember history? The long banner hangs in Aberrang. The Second Great War nearly screwed us all. What did you do this time? Who the Fane is this? Take him to Grofheim. Are you insane? He just said an army of dredge are pouring out of that fort. Go on to Grofheim then, Prince. Having your blood on my hands would be worse than doing nothing. It shuts Ludin up for a moment. You can see the battle raging in his head. He looks desperate for safety, but he didn't expect to flee like a coward. He expected you to come along. He glances at his men. We're already this far. If this is the Varl's doing, I'll know of it, and so will my father. Besides, you need my help and my fighters. If I go, so do Ysira and Bercy. The prince has courage. Do whatever you like. Alright. This is, Here we go. We've got 330 Varl who just joined us. Yeah, but eating in the classroom is not really any better. I don't know, man. Like, it's a shit decision no matter what. No matter, as a parent, no matter what, you're in a shit situation. You have to either be okay with your kids possibly getting sick in school and being around other kids and having a better school experience, or do a cyber thing where, as a parent, you have to basically monitor their entire day. It's terrible. Alright, we've got more of our fighters than them. Oh, I've got this one injured dude, though, so we're going to remove him. And we're going to put in Bercy and Fassel. Even this guy gets a promotion. Everybody gets promoted. I'm gonna give him more armor, though. Alright. Okay, I think we're ready for battle. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm going to. I have, like, 3.5 weeks of PTO that I have to use by the end of the year. Which is a lot. So, I may go ahead and take some PTO. Don't come to me. Oh, fuck. You can hit from far away? Oh, I didn't know that. Alright, one down. Yeah, I'm probably going to try Reaper out. I'm pretty interested in Reaper. Go back this dude up. Have you resubbed yet or no? You're waiting until it comes out? Alright, one more down. I mean, that makes sense to me. There's a lot to do and a lot of games coming out. Yes, come to me. Boom. This guy is like Armor Breaker 2000. I love that guy. You know, Sage looks awesome though. Both the new classes look really cool. I'm really anxious to play them. I think a lot of people though are going to be playing Reaper right off the bat. Which, you know, is fine, but it's just going to be, like, impossible to get groups for instances and stuff. That's always a concern of mine. Oh, shit, I fucked up. What the hell is happening? That was awesome. Yeah, I think Sage is going to be easier to level than Reaper. So if, like, if you have friends, now's the time. I have a friend. He's playing a Sage, so makes it easy for me. I think I'm gonna lose this Prince guy. Go. Take a moment to survey the battlefield. The enemy is being pushed back all the way down the line. I'm gonna kill a few more this time. Oh, all right, 4 more appeared. Shit, I'm gonna rest of this guy. armor broken. Even with armor broken, I only did 2 damage to that one. Alright, maybe continuing the fight wasn't a good idea. Maybe that wasn't a good idea. I don't know what to do here. Let's just rest again. Alright, we gotta knock this guy out. Let's go behind him. That's gonna do a huge difference here. Okay, it's gonna come down to our last 2 guys here. And I just killed him. Holy crap, maybe that was not the best idea. Man, all of my guys were injured too. What in the depths are these, you wondered, looking at the unusual dredge slingers? Nobody knows. Without warning, a deranged and half-dead slag stumbles out of a bush, throwing itself upon the yaks attached to the treasure cart. Surprised Varl pull weapons, but not before the whole cart slides off slick rock and sheer drop, stopped suddenly by a low growl. The enormous metal wagon dangles precariously off a cliff. From the ends swings a confused yaks, still tied to its reins. On top, the dredge hangs on tight. Keeping the whole thing from palmating over the side is Gnolf, one hand white-knuckling the cart, the other wrapped around a tree trunk. Try to knock the dredge off. You come up with a fist-sized stone. It bounces off the dredge's hard armor with a thump. Just as Ubin appears, huffing, the tree creaks under Gnolf's grip and pulls from the ground. The whole collection of things suddenly disappear from sight. No, cries the old Varl. The car plummets and flips over rocks along the way, tossing its contents across the snow in a shower of gold and gore. The ox and the dredge are torn to shreds. Gnolf flies motionless, his limbs splayed at unnatural angles. Following the shock of Gnolf's death, you find yourself wondering why the dredge went after the ox in the first place. Then you realize the bigger problem is the vast fortune now laying at the bottom of the cliff. Let's try to recover Gnolf's body.
With few options, you settle on lowering a man by rope into the valley. He shouts that the battered body of Ganulf is definitely dead, and with their combined weight, the rope won't hold. Gold is scattered across the rocks and too far to reach anyway. You face the fact that it's been a complete loss. A day later, you're back on the march with nothing to show for it. That is terrible. I'm morale declined twice there. Morale improved. Caravan stops, Godstone looming overhead. For a short rest, the warriors are glad for it, and the stone gives you an ancient sense of being watched over in a comforting way. Didn't help the bodies underneath it, though. The earth at the base of the Godstone is scarred, like a struggle occurred. Merchants, no dredge. Encircling Dingler are a variety of goods. A barrel of mead, who knows how old, loose silver, a statue made of soapstone, offerings to a dead god. Gather whatever you can. We'll need these more than the deceased, you remark. As others gather anything of use, you inspect the bodies. The glitter catches your eye. Around one man's neck, you fish out a gold necklace with 5 rings hanging loosely on it. Guess he didn't make it, you mutter. Take the necklace with the intent to return it. Toss the necklace to Mogre and tell him to hang on to it. If anyone can be trusted, it's him. Examine the Godstone. Alright, and we're still moving on. Look at that face. Is that Frankenstein on the Godstone? Well, we're back on the march. That didn't really do much for us. I'm losing 9 supplies a day. Oh no, what did I do? I didn't know that was going to be a fight. Oh no. Can I change my mind? I did not want to go into this battle completely injured like that. Okay, well, guess that's what we're doing. she's dead. And he's dead. They're just knocking out my people one by one. Oh! What's this? Is there a way to turn the camera? I guess not. That was bad luck. There we go. I thought I was going to be screwed there. I did not intend to fight. I need to set up a camp. As the fighting wraps up, one of the Varl puts his axe away and puffs on a pipe. Haken, he greets you. Glad you saw our signal. He explained that they had some which had come from Schlid, and were surrounded. He spotted you in the distance and lit a fire to draw your attention. The risk of drawing the dredge as well. Back at the caravan, their sizable detachment joins your ranks. Alright. We need to set up a camp here. I hate to use all of my resources this way, but really don't have a choice here. Rest one more day and back on the road. We're low on resources, but in supplies. Mogr comes to you privately. I've seen some of the warriors disappearing, he says. At first thought it was my imagination. Now I'm certain several have just gone missing. Mostly men, but some Varl too. Can't quite figure it out. It's abandonment. If it's abandonment, you can't let it stand. I sent my men to bring back gold from the cart you left behind. If you have a problem with your warriors joining them, maybe you should keep them under control. Alright. Warriors demand a break. You halt the caravan with a sigh, but in all honesty, you're starting to feel the altitude and wariness of yourself. Mogr leans on a fallen tree, fiddling with a crust of bread. Getting colder, he says, staring into the distance. You can see Redhorn just start to peek around the mountains. A flock of ravens float across a clear sky towards the fort. We should follow those birds. Why? Without another word, Mogr starts running towards the birds and tumbles over the cliff. Suddenly, he's gliding through the air, flapping his arms for all they're worth. He swoops towards Ridgehorn before bursting into flames and plummeting into the tower, which crumbles like a log from a smoldering campfire. He You think you've lost your mind, then you wake up. You don't remember setting up camp or falling asleep in front of crackling logs. What's going on? You mutter. Moger approaches you at the campfire. Hacken, did you see? He starts. Yeah, you both agree to keep it to yourselves. Okay, well, that's interesting. I'm sure you've seen them, Moger says, but we're being followed. Dredge have been on our asses since we left the Godstone. Lots of them. I'm sure there's plenty in front of us, too, but we're just a half day out from thick woods. We might lose them from there. The Varl don't enjoy shuffling through undergrowth, but the Dredge hate it even more. Most stop at the edge of the forest, and the ones you follow are picked off without much effort. They begin to creep around the tree line, and you hope you can outpace them to the other side. Deep inside the woods, you get the distinct sense that the Dredge have more or less surrounded you and in great numbers. Their dark shapes create unsettling patterns as they slide between the trees in every direction. You call Morger around. Any ideas, Morger? Yeah, pray to whatever god you like. There's more of them waiting on the other side of the woods than we've seen so far. We may seriously be outnumbered. What if, she says, patting her arrows knowingly, you could set part of the woods on fire to draw their attention while you escape, or try to draw them into a trap. Was this your idea? You ask? She shrugs innocently. Let's draw them into the woods and set them on fire. Create a line of shield bangers and unleash volleys of arrows in their direction, luring frustrated sways of them into the trees. At your command, Ysira flings flaming arrows into key locations. The trees erupt and fire spreads quickly. Many fall immediately, but the Varls start to lose their nerve. Soon the caravan is in disarray, some fighting, others fleeing from the growing inferno. Sierra has vanished. Luden rushes past in a state of terror. You break from the trees, hoping to regroup. Where is Ysara? Behind you, Varl are following your lead, though not as many as you'd hope. The Dredge, distracted by the fire, have thankfully not yet noticed your escape. Isn't she with you? Don't. Did you make her do it? Where is she? I didn't make her do anything. It was her idea. Luden stares into the flames, face blank. He's trying hard not to show what this means to him. A miserable moment lingers. We've got to get out of here, Håkon. We bought minutes at the most. We don't know that she's gone anyway. Maybe she'll catch up to us. Moger gathers the others. Someone drags Luden along against his will, but you hear no outbursts or insults. It's almost worse that way. I am almost out of supplies here. Like we made it to wherever we're going. A busted up village. I'm at 34 days, so I guess that means something? I don't know, is this like just survive as long as you can? I'd imagine there's an end to the story, right? This is a pretty good story, pretty good game. I'm enjoying this one. What is this mess about? Looks like a full-scale battle happened recently. But only dredged bodies remain. Maybe we'll see something from the tower. Have Varl search the buildings to make sure there's no dredge waiting to spring on it. And don't set up camp or make fire. We'll take a look and then get out of here before anything else goes wrong. You mean more wrong. Alright, let's look at the heroes. Add Haken back to my party here. And we'll look at the tower. Yeah, ready for battle. Okay. There's always a battle. I guess we're ready. Exploding. How do you... I forgot. How do you... Okay, well, that's good enough. No, oh, there it is. Oh, that dude hit fucking hard. was not expecting him to hit so hard. The hell, man? He's just like one-shotting all my guys. What the hell? Are you supposed to lose there? As you die, your last thoughts are the thousands of dredge marching past Ridgeborn. An invasion, another war. Will history remember this moment at the beginning and the end? You'll never find out. Okay, that was a game over. Awesome. Well, I think this is a good stopping point. Like, now we know that fight's pretty tough, and we got to take out that big guy who can one-shot everybody on my team, apparently. I'm going to call it a day, though. I've got to get ready for work. I hope everyone has a good day. I will be back tomorrow with more Banner Saga. And be good to each other. I'll see you later.